Hey guys. Alright, so my hair's a mess. Alright. So now we're on chapter 6 on how to farm and the basics. When we started on this journey, the only thing I knew about farming was that smarter people than I put seeds into the ground and got food out. Some of the really smart ones fed their families and made money with that talent. Okay, I can't really say that because I grew up with the garden. My hair's a mess, guys, sorry. I grew up with, the garden and that kind of thing, so I have a little bit more knowledge than that. Well, my saintly Granny Jones could feed an army out of her garden. Same for my grandma. I learned nearly nothing from her, as I was a hard-headed child in a family of hard-headed children. Well, yeah. So our journey began with a lot of ignorance coupled with a lot of desire. We knew that food grown closer to home tasted better and was fresher, but we had no idea how to do it ourselves. I had some idea, so being the book learning geeks that we are, we immediately started reading and trying things out. We started the books like Square Foot Gardening, Lasagna Gardening. I actually want to try that. I want to get that book on the lasagna gardening, on like layering. That's what I want to do with the raised beds, on like layering the raised beds. My hair. Vertical vegetable gardening, and many more. We started attending classes at the local USDA Cooperative Extension Office and searching for every tidbit of information we could find on websites like Rodale's Organic Life and all the information from Permies.com. We bought a copy of every farmer's almanac we could find. That massive information dump is one of the things that led to forming our magazine from scratch. We should put something together. Faith First Farmers Homestead. Just another idea. That's long down the road. We don't even have our website up and going yet. After getting all that information packed into our tiny little heads, we started gardening. Of course, we were going to do it organically, and we failed. We had no idea we'd have to fight weeds and insects as much as we did. See, I did the same thing. We had the barest understanding of how the growing seasons worked. We barely understood soil fertility and microbial activity and had very little understanding of how to read or use a soil test. Same for me. We're still learning, as I said. While it was discouraging, every failure led to new successes, as Andrew has said as well. We learned how to control weeds with mulch and discovered new types of tools. The hula hoe with a swivel head is life-changing. We learned how to combat insects with organic materials, essential oils, and environmental controls. We figured out how to read a soil test result. We learned how to deal with late frost and early heat. Finally, after about 3 years of gardening and trying, we had a semi-successful harvest. We actually broke even. While that may not seem like a big deal, it is. Most farm operations take about 5 years to break even, sometimes even longer. The other thing we learned, and this is the real success, is how we'll never stop learning. And I've said that. Insects and pathogens sometimes have life cycles that stretch over years, which means some years you won't have insect problems at all, and the next year a wretched creature comes out of the ground and destroys a crop. Even without climate change, okay, we're not going to get into that anyway, weather patterns are unpredictable and fickle. The weather reports are mostly right within limitations, and you'll learn to panic when your meteorologist predicts temperatures above freezing. Because even if it's 5 degrees above freezing, you know from previous experience that you'll wake up to a frost in the morning. Yep. Farming isn't a scholarly process. It's a verb, which means you learn by doing. That isn't to discount book learning. Everyone needs a starting point, and if you don't have some sort of knowledgeable foundation, it's going to make your failure rate higher. As I've said, do your research, guys. Failures can lead to frustration, and frustration can lead to quitting. The way to combat failure, however, is to embrace it head on, accept that you'll always be a student of farming and gardening, and enjoy the learning process and homesteading. Every day you spend in your fields or in your garden, even when you have to till everything under and start over, is a good day as long as you learn to enjoy the rhythms and movements of nature. So how do you start farming vegetables? Best way to go, as far as I'm concerned, is to find a book that looks interesting and get started. To help you pick and choose a method, below in the next section, We'll discuss some basic farming methods explained. There are a lot of other methods that fall under these broad categories, and a couple of them are subcategories already. So you'll need to determine which one works best for you. And I'm going to stop right there because the next one is on conventional farming. And we will go from there, guys. So I will see you guys in a minute. And again, as we know more on the whole main thing, I will let you guys know. But I will definitely keep you guys updated and all that. So anyway, but I'll go ahead and get off from here and I'll get this uploaded and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.